Hey, my friends, it's Michael Coburn. And real quick, I wanted you to see what I do for my office every Monday morning at 9:30 via Zoom. It's called Michael's Monday Morning Mojo Live. Check it out. Let me know what you think.
So when you invest, you expect a return. So when you go to work, there's such thing as called spending time and investing time, right? Now, when I go to work, I should be investing my time, because if I'm investing my time, I'm expecting a return. If I'm going to spend my time, I'm going to go spend it with my friends, spend it with my family, spend it playing golf, doing things that I enjoy that help me recharge and rebuild, right? But when I go to work, I want to invest. So when you invest in your time, we call it dollar productive activities. We say that's money time. We time block our money time. And I want to show you just something quick today. All right. A simple return on investment, right? Spending time is always wasted time. And investing time is always dollar productive time. So when it's time for you to spend your time or invest your time in dollar productive time, I want to show you just a quick little sample, which is the cost of wasting time, right? Or it could be the benefits of investing time if you look at it the other way, because spending time does on irrelevant activities does have devastating effects. And I've showed this to a couple of people in the past few classes, but I want to bring it up again, because 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, investing, you invested 240 hours a year. If you take 240 hours invested times, you can attempt to talk to somebody 30 times an hour, which is very conservative. That's 7,200 additional attempts to talk to somebody a year. If you got 7,200 attempts at a 15% conversion rate of talks from attempt to talk, that gives you 1,080 additional conversations a year, right, with sellers. And if you have 1,080 conversations with a 10% conversion rate into appointments, that would give you 108 additional appointments a year. And 108 with a 67% sales ratio, which right now you guys are closing, I guarantee you 100% of your listings are selling. But let's say 67 to keep it conservative. That's 72 additional listings a year. And that was on the appointment, by the way. Then on a 75% sold rate is 54 additional listings sold per year by talking to people 1 hour a day, or trying to. So if your average commission rate is $7,700, you got 54 times 7,700 or $415,800 additional income, or $290,000 after taxes, pending your bracket. So if you made $415,000, if you divide it by the amount of hours you spent investing in your time, that's $1,732.50 per hour invested. Would you consider that a good investment? Absolutely. Or how about this? You divide that by 1,080 talks. That's every time you talk to somebody on the phone, whether they buy or not from you, is $385 per conversation. And look at this one. 415,000 divided by the 7,200 dials you did. Every time you picked up the phone and made a dial, if you made $57.75, if I told you I'm going to write you a check for $57.75 every time you dial the phone to call somebody, you guys would be on the phone 8 hours a day. I probably couldn't get you off the phone. Jacqueline would probably work 23 hours a day and take 1 hour just to sleep. Here's the secret of top producers. It's great, right, to do that dollar productive time. But here's the most important thing. When you're doing your prospecting, you're investing your time in dollar productive activities, typically you get leads. So these leads need to go into a follow-up system, because if you're always calling leads, calling people, doing your prospecting, but never follow up and nurture the leads that you've got, it's a total waste of time, effort, money. Here's the secret of top producers. 48% of people never follow up with a prospect. So you spend all that time trying to get a lead on the phone, and then you never follow up, 48%. 25% will make a second call. 12% only make 3 contacts and stop. And only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Here's the deal. Only 10% of the people out there you're competing with will call them more than 3 times. And here's the money shot. 2% of the sales are made on first contact. 3% are made on the second contact. 5% on the third. 10% on the fourth. And 80% of all lead follow-up, the sale is made on the 5th through the 12th contact. That, my friends, is the secret of top producers. So the most important activity of your day, in addition, though, this is still called dollar productive time. When you're prospecting, you have to you take those leads and you put them into a lead follow-up system, because you have to follow up again. When somebody says, hey, don't call me anymore, you call them back one more time. And if they said, hey, I thought I told you don't call me, you're like, what, you're serious about that? Right? So you keep calling. But like I was telling you guys before, it's not just about calling to call and say, hey, are you ready yet? Hey, you ready yet? Are you ready? Did you sign the DocuSign? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? You have to call with value. Hey guys, I know you're getting ready to sell your house. This is something I found that when provided to my sellers up front, it helped them to sell their house faster, for more money, whatever. You have to have reasons to call these people back all the time, because a lot of times you're going to call people on your prospecting calls. And so first of all, remember this. Remember how heavy this thing is right here. When it's time to call your prospects, it comes into your money time on your calendar, right? You blocked out time in your calendar. You said, during this time, I'm going to do FSBOs, expires, call my current clients, past clients, look for referrals. Whatever you're going to do, when it's time to do it, you look at this phone and you go, oh, I don't feel like doing it today, right? This phone is so heavy. And I always say, don't feel your way into an action. You got to act your way into a feeling. You pick it up anyway, and you get to work. So you got to work and you spent that hour. And maybe you spend an hour every day for 5 days. So that's 5 hours that week. And in that 5 hours, maybe you got 5, 6, 3, 10 leads. So those 10 leads, you should be filling out a lead sheet about this person. So when you're done your prospecting, right, then you gather up all your lead sheets. Now you go over to your follow-up system, whether it's Follow-Up Boss or Top Producer or Buffini's Referral Maker. You have to have a system for following up. And it's not just sending them 1,000 different emails and on a drip email, because you know what we do to email. I get on my email, I go delete, 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 delete. Ooh, that's something important. Delete, delete, delete. And so does everybody else. So what you got to do is make sure in your lead follow-up, it's back to picking up the phone, folks, but you have to have a strategy. When you go into your database and you look, oh, there's Joanne. And I go, okay, last time I talked to Joanne, Joanne says, yes, I'm definitely interested, Michael. No, I don't have an agent that I would refer anybody to. I would like you to send me stuff. I'm probably interested in doing something in 6 months. So what I do on my lead sheet is said she's interested in about 6 months, write all this stuff down. But when I'm putting it into my lead follow-up sheet, I'm calling her in 3 months. Because anytime somebody says, call me in a month, you cut it in half, call them in 2 weeks, right? So you want to cut it in half and follow up. But now you got to have a strategy for following up. And this is a great topic for a mastermind meeting where we can all get together and talk about what is it that we can provide to this type of a seller, for this type of a buyer in this market. What would be some good items of value that we can use to follow up and go, you know, hey, Steve, Michael Coburn here. Real quick, I know you're busy. Last time I talked to you, you said you're interested in selling. You were still about 6 months out, but I wanted to follow up with you and give you this tips for staging your house for a quick sale, or give you this stuff on remodeling, or see if you're ready to set an appointment for me to send my stager by to give you some things that you can do to get ready for your sale in a few months. And so you're constantly calling with different things that you can do, because the lead follow-up is so important. Just remember that don't forget about the lead follow-up, because picking up this phone and doing your prospecting is so hard. And when you get that lead, a lot of times it comes up in your calendar. Call Leanne Thomas. I'll call her later, right? The email comes up, a phone. Then, I got to go on a showing. And now it's tomorrow. And that's still in my calendar from yesterday. And then about a week later, you're like, oh, crap, I never called somebody. And you're looking for it. And you go, man, I really need to call them. God, now I'm a week late from calling them. I look like a loser. Well, here, I'll just send them an email. You can't do that. When the time comes up for lead follow-up, you've got to be intentional and proactive, and make sure you make those lead follow-up calls, because there's only two things stopping you from achieving the goals that you set for yourself. And that's fear and atmosphere, right? Fear, we all know what fear is, right? False evidence appearing real. We start thinking all this bull crap in our head as to why we're not good enough, as to why they don't want to hear from us, as to why we think we're wasting our time, or as to, all the kryptonite in our head as to why we don't want people calling us. And we start using that against our own self as to why we're not going to call someone else. So think about that, remove that stuff. And that's where you need the self-talk. I don't care what Darren Hardy says. That self-talk is good, but you got to have that self-talk like, people want me, I'm good enough, I'm great enough, I'm the best real estate agent, I'm a lean, mean listing machine, I'm listing house this week, I just don't know the address of it yet, but I'm going to pick up the phone because they want to hear from me. Now, you got to have that self-talk, but if you don't put that self-talk into action, it does you no good. You can't sit here, like Darren Hardy did say, you can't just sit there and go, God, I'm so skinny, give me a double Big Mac and 2 large fries, right? And then just keep feeding your face. Self-talk without action does you no good. So we all know what to do. Do you know how to do it? I mean, if you don't know how to do it, that's your first step. Let's figure out, how do we do what we need to do to get done what it is we know we want to get done. Then just take action and go get it done. Make sense? Any questions? Listen, guys, today is February 1st. You're 1 month behind already. Or are you ahead of the game? Are you on track? Now's the time to look at our last month. Do your P&L. What's your profit and loss for February? How much money did you spend? How much money did you make? Are you in the red? Are you in the black? If you don't do it now, when? It needs to get done. Today's February 1st. February is a short month. You're already shorted on this month. Let's get out there. Let's do our money time. Let's put the big rocks in first. Let's make time to do the sales and marketing leg of our business. But this week, sometime this week, we got to do the CFO hat. We got to put our CFO hat on. We got to do the numbers for January. Let's look at the numbers. I don't know where I'm going if I don't know where I've been. To speak about numbers, I want to talk to you about my diet and why tracking is so important. And you'll probably hear me say this a couple more times because it is important. I weighed 217 and a half pounds of fat sometime in December, probably right around Christmas time. And I made a proclamation to everybody in Insane Productivity. I said, that's it. By the end of January, I'm getting down to 200. I immediately started dropping, doing all the things and tracking. I started using this app called Lose It, and I tracked every single day what I was eating, what I was drinking, what I was working out, everything I needed to do to achieve that goal. And I started losing all this weight, and then it got to a point where all of a sudden, when I did my cheat meals, I started gaining weight. And I started going, what the hell? I'm eating less, I'm working out more, and I started gaining weight again. And I realized by going back and looking at all my tracking and stuff, I was under eating, and my body started, it goes from cannibalizing to storing fat. Your body will start storing fat because you're starving it. Okay, so you're starving it. So what I did was I started eating more healthy food. I didn't add donuts to it, right? And pie and chocolate candy. I ate more chicken, more eggs, more tuna, more fish, right? Those types of things, good carbs. And what happened is I started losing the weight again. And it was the tracking that I did on that app that let me know where I was and what I needed to do to get to where I wanted to go. And so it's the same thing in your business. If you're not getting if you're not having the success with your phone calls and your listing appointments and your listing selling, you have to track. So you're tracking how many calls till somebody picks up the phone. When somebody picks up the phone, how many people do I got to talk to before I actually set an appointment? Once I set an appointment, how many appointments do I got to set before I actually get a face-to-face? And how many face-to-face meetings do I actually have to have till I get a listing? And how many listings do I got to have till they sell? Also, you need to be tracking how much money am I making? How much money am I spending, right? And these are things of the CFO hat. February 1st, this week, take an hour, put some things together each day, and then do your P&L, get your January out of the way. But by looking at January, figuring out the numbers, what leads worked, what leads didn't, what process did I use that was successful or not. 1 month doesn't tell you a lot, but it gives you a little bit of an idea as to the money's going out and the money coming in. So look at your first month. You got a business here, folks. You're not a real estate agent. You're in the real estate business. If you just want to be a real estate agent, don't show up to this because you're wasting your time, effort, and money. Just go out there and try and sell a house and sit on open houses the rest of your life. But if you want to build a business and make a lot of money, you've got to get very successful at listings. Right now, you should be reaching out to every single person in the world, expired listings that expired a year or 2 years ago that never sold, and maybe people that are back to busy streets, back to power lines, had bad floor plans, weren't updated enough, because you couldn't sell then, you can sell now. And that's the message we have to be delivering. We need to be doing the business call to our past clients and friends. Hey guys, Michael Coburn, how you doing? Listen, this is a business call. You got a quick minute. You know, the reason for my call is because the market's so crazy and there's no inventory. I wanted to reach out to all my best clients and friends and let you know I've got a really, really great family that's desperate need for a new house. They're looking for a 3 or 4 bedroom, Plano, Frisco, Ella, McKinney, 3 to 500,000. They're open. I mean, I just want to reach out and see if you know anybody that's thinking of selling. Please think and let me know and call me so we can help these two people. Guys, that's a powerful call. When I'm done, then I'm going to say, all right, so the business out of the way. So how you guys doing? Right? But it's a 5-minute call. It's a 5-minute call. If you spend 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes or an hour, like some people, every time you call me, when I see you pop up, I'm not answering the phone. But if I know it's a 30-second to a couple of minute quick call, I don't mind answering when you call. All right, guys. That's your Monday Morning Mojo live. Live, all the way live. Forget about your troubles and your 9 to 5 and just say hello. Oh, remember this, Steve. You're great where you are. You're just too good to stay there. See y'all soon. Bye.